What a drag. Hey guys, Sage is here with another Naruto novel review. This time, Shikamaru's story, A Cloud Drifting in the Silent Dark. And before we begin, let's just appreciate this first color page. His name, all the major events that shaped him. You have Temari in the K with the ship. You have Azuma down there behind him, the Hidan Kakuzu fight. Yeah, I just really appreciate that. It's really nice. Alright guys, so this story starts off with Shikamaru is, working with Kakashi, training to be Naruto's advisor. And he's just very stuck on what it means to be an adult and what he really wants to do with his life. He wanted to live an okay life, but everything just keeps pulling him in and making him a greater person than what he expects or really wants to be. So they end up getting a message that Sai has gone missing. Sai sends his last message back to them saying that he doesn't know himself anymore. And that's it, he just never returns. He was in the land of silence scouting out this man called Gengo he mentions in the letter. Gengo is the leader of, this group that apparently leads the land of silence. So they talk about it, and Shikamaru ends up recommending an assassination mission that he'll need someone to hide their chakra and someone that's good at assassination. So Kakashi ends up rounding up two Anbu members by the name of Ro, who is an older Anbu man. His power is pretty much he can suppress chakra in people, enhance chakra in people, but it doesn't change your abilities. It just changes what people sense and see in your chakra. And also Soku, or her real name, but don't say it to her face, Hinako, whose ability is pretty much just sending a bolt. She can either use it to kill, paralyze, etc. out of her finger. I really liked her character design. I would like to see these novels animated. Pretty much she has orange hair, orange nails, and she shoots like orange bolts, so it seems like a really cool character design. She ends up kind of having, I feel, like a little crush on Shikamaru throughout the story, but that ends up getting crushed at the end, which we'll get to. So these three, well, prior to that, Shikamaru is kind of distant and everything, thinking about everything, about the seriousness of an assassination mission, which he hasn't gone on, and just, he's really deep into thought. He doesn't want anyone to know about it because he doesn't want to get anyone else involved. He ends up running into Temari, so he's very distant from people, including Choji and Ino, who he doesn't even tell, his best friends. They go out for barbecue, and he's distant and doesn't really say anything to him about it, even though he really wants to. He doesn't. And also with Temari, he ends up not telling her anything. Well, she ends up getting mad, slapping him because she believes that, she was so wrong about him, that she thought she knew him or whatever, and he takes it rough, but he just doesn't want to get anyone involved. So they end up traveling to the land of silence, Shikamaru, Ro, and Soku, or Hinako. And they end up finding out that there's this group they call themselves the Revolutionaries. They wear long coats, and they all seem super devoted to this guy, Gengo. To a point where it's like he's not even a leader, more of a god-type figure. So they end up going to a plaza where it's a crowd everywhere, and Gengo is going to speak. Soku hides up in a building, ready to shoot him, while Ro and Shikamaru get close to him. Shikamaru planning to use his shadow jutsu to paralyze him, while Ro suppresses their chakra on the way to him. Well, they end up going through the crowd. Gengo appears and starts speaking. Gengo having blue hair, also a really cool sounding character design. Blue hair, blue eyes, I believe, too. Ends up speaking, and they get close enough, but as soon as Shikamaru goes for his shadow jutsu to paralyze him so Soku can shoot him, it doesn't reach, and Gengo calls them little mice. And all of a sudden everyone jumps out in front of him. Sai actually appears and goes after Shikamaru, which is very weird. Sai wouldn't do that. He was always distant and stuff, but he would never attack a comrade. So that set off warning signs. So those three end up captured and put in to cells beneath their castle, beneath Gengo's castle in the capital of the Land of Silence. And there Shikamaru is fed properly. He's left in a dark room, but he constantly hears the screams of Ro and Soku, who are being tortured, yet he is never touched. So, after a long time of that, all three of them are dragged into the main room where Gengo starts speaking to Shikamaru, and Shikamaru starts, Gengo makes valid points that it's not fair that people rule the daimos, that ninja are obviously superior since they have powers. Why shouldn't they rule? Why are they in villages that are quote-unquote hidden? Why do they have to take second seat when they're stronger? They should rule and not, normal humans. So he makes some valid points in his argument. I'm not saying it to the extent of him, but he makes valid points, but not enough to persuade you to go with his crazy plan. But slowly Shikamaru starts falling for it, not understanding why. And as he goes to grab Gengo's hand, Temari bursts in the door. Here, prior to this, she ends up going to Konoha to ask around about him and, pry and figure out, talks to Choji and Ino, learn that he was acting strange, and talks to Kakashi, ends up getting it out of Kakashi, and then goes back to Gaara to tell Gaara that she really wants his help to save Shikamaru and everything. So they end up gathering Sand Ninja to go with Temari and Lee. Gaara doesn't go, but Temari with Sand Ninja go. And, along with Ino and Choji. And, also, some more too. I believe Kiba was there. I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember. I know for a fact Ino and Shoji were there. I know Ino for a fact because of something I'm going to tell you, which was really nice. So they end up going, fighting. Temari bursts in at the last second, saving Shikamaru from falling under. What ends up being Gengo is a Genjutsu user who his ability is really cool. Pretty much when he speaks, it puts people under Genjutsu. Pretty much like it just flows out of his mouth, this Genjutsu chakra, and ends up, putting you under Genjutsu. It's a really interesting ability that they gave him, which is really cool. Pretty much speaking, which slowly bends people to your will under a Genjutsu. So they end up fighting. They end up putting Sai down. They beat him down, and Ino mind transfers into him, trying to search for him, going deeper inside of his mind, realizing she wants to know him more. She ends up finding him inside his mind, crying, and, she grabs him, pulls him out, and then he wakes up consciously, saying, "Thanks, beautiful," to Ino, Ino crying and being happy that he's back. So a really nice and touching Sai and Ino moment. I really enjoyed that. Along with the Shikamaru and Temari moments spread throughout. There'll be a bigger one at the end I'll tell you about. So Gengo ends up fleeing to a very dark room where Shikamaru engages him in combat. Gengo being from the mist, so he's good with a sword, so they have to fight in complete darkness until Temari, Ro, and Soku end up coming. Ro, Soku, Shikamaru end up taking Gengo down after a long-winded battle. Shikamaru using tons of clones, and Ro suppressing all their chakras to make them seem like, they're the normal Shikamaru. Gengo wears himself out. Shikamaru shadow traps him, and Soku hits him in the tongue, suppressing his chakra usage so he can't put people under Genjutsu. So Gengo is captured. Shikamaru ends up asking Temari on a date at the end, while you have Soku, aka Hinako, in the back going, "Huh?" So that goes to show that she had a little crush on Shikamaru. There were some other moments they had throughout that you could tell she started having a crush on Shikamaru, but that was the driving funny moment at the end there. And to which Temari turns back and goes, "What a drag," pretty much accepting his date, which was really nice to get the development of their relationship. And then it goes back to Shikamaru talking with Kakashi, Shikamaru now having clarity about what it means to be an adult and realizing he wants to not live an okay life. He wants to live a life where he can pave the way that people can live normal lives. Since he was dragged into this, he's going to make the best out of it and make life greater for those people that can live a lazy life like he wanted to. So he's going to step up to the plate and be Naruto's advisor and everything. And then, which was really nice, and then at the very end we get a very small paragraph about, pretty much it doesn't say any names, but you can tell it's about Temari just gave birth and it's Shikamaru and Temari, a time skip. And Shikamaru is thinking to himself, boy, what are we going to name this? What a drag. and that's how it ends. An overall really nice story. I'd probably say this one's better than the Kakashi one. I enjoyed this a little more. They're both really good, but I think I enjoyed this more. Just the characters were, it had more different characters like Ro and Soku, who were really nice, and just had a lot of relationship building with Shikamaru and Temari and Sai and Ino, whereas the last one it was just Kakashi and Kaio. But yeah, guys, it was really good. Check this one out as well. If you guys already have, let me know what you think. If you haven't, go check it out now and then come back, tell me what you think. Leave a like, comment, all that jazz. Let's talk about it. I'll probably see you in the next Naruto novel review. What a drag it was to make this one, guys. But yeah, sayonara.